This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 273 of the Stable Scoop Radio Show. All aboard the Cute Train. Please support our sponsors as they make this show possible.
Our sponsors this week are Sparkle and Boom and Kentucky Performance Products.
Welcome to the Stable Scoop, with weekly shows delivered right to you. With Helena and Glenn the Geek, live from the stable, it's every week. They bring you the news through hail or high water, while using their tails as their own fly swatters. So sit on down and laugh till you poop, cause it's time again for the Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. The Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop.
This is Glenn the Geek.
And this is Helena B. And you're listening to the Stable Scoop Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network.
Well, howdy, Helena.
Howdy, Glenn. How are you?
Well, you know, I was disgusted this morning when I woke up, and let me tell you why. I get up every morning, and I don't know why I do this to myself. I shouldn't do it. I read the news. You know, online. I go on the computer. First thing I do, and I look at Daily Mail and a couple other news places, and every morning it's, you know, people killing each other and just depression. And then I when I got done reading the news this morning, I said, I'm depressed. I got to stop reading the news first thing in the morning because it's depressing. So I thought what we could do at the beginning of our show, as to not depress people, is that I found this list from BuzzFeed. And BuzzFeed is one of my favorite websites.
Okay.
And I thought, well, it'd be fun because the list is something it was called 20-some things to brighten your day.
Oh,
so you want me to brighten your day?
yes, please.
These are random things that'll brighten your day. Okay. So the first one on the list is, no matter when you're reading this, you're less than 5 days away from the weekend and having fun with your ponies.
Okay, that's a positive outlook. I like that.
You're always close to the weekend. 1/7 of all the mornings in your life are Sunday mornings, and some people fox hunt on Sunday mornings. So that's got to be good, right?
That's got to be good. There's nothing like a Sunday morning. I love Sunday morning, especially Sunday morning coffee and breakfast.
There you go. There you go. I know a lot of people go out to, go to church. A lot of people go out to eat after church on Sunday mornings. A lot of people eat out.
I'm usually mucking my church on Sunday morning. After coffee and breakfast, that is.
According to some basic math, more than 250,000 people are having the best days of their lives right now. Today.
That's awesome.
Now, this is how they figured it out. There are approximately 7 billion people on Earth who average 70 years as a lifespan. And assuming each person can only have one best day, more than 250,000 people have their best day of their lives every single day.
More than how many people?
250,000 people have to be having...
50,000.
Uh-oh.
What?
Jennifer just put a note on my thing. Tiny baby snake under feed tub in beaker stall. Do not move. Is it a safe snake or a bad snake?
It's only like this long, so it's hard to tell.
It's a little tiny snake.
A tiny baby snake.
It's rust-colored and its head's darker, but that's all I can
It's rust-colored and head darker, and she probably screamed and ran out, and that's all she saw.
But I usually with my foot, I thought it was a leaf.
You thought it was a leaf?
You got really pissed.
That's the first one we've seen here at this farm, actually. Anyway, so 250,000 people are having the best day of their lives today. Jennifer said it's not her after the snake incident. How about this? And you lived through this. We didn't have kids, so you could expand upon this one a little bit. The average 4-year-old will ask 437 questions today.
Oh, yeah, not a problem with that one. Oh, yeah.
Now, did that just drive you insane, or were you like glad that she was so inquisitive? Because Grace was really inquisitive. Well,
4 years old is good because then they can start to understand a little bit. They can reason a little bit, so you can actually answer them like an adult.
And they're likely not to ask the same question tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. They're more likely to absorb. Obviously, you have to turn everything you say into 4-year-old speak, but they actually absorb it. So I never minded a question. And she had good questions too. She hit some really good ones.
Yeah, she's really bright.
Yeah.
Did she go through the phase where I think it's the 2 to 3 year old where they're asking the same question every day, day after day after day?
No, her favorite question was, "What's that noise?" What's that noise? Like every time she heard something, it was, "What's that noise?" So we would get that question like 50 or 60 times a day because obviously there's that many noises.
I think us horse husbands are guilty a little bit of asking the same question all the time and expecting a different answer.
That's kind of like opening up the refrigerator a couple of times and expecting to find new food there.
Yeah, we all do that too, don't we? Or we're hoping that the fifth time we open it, the food's going to at least look better than it's there. It's like,
yeah, I might want something the third time.
It never works. The average adult will laugh 17 times today. I got to say that I got to be above average there. I think I'm above average.
Yeah,
there.
you're a good laugher.
I think I got that one beat by far. There's an entire corner of the internet where strangers are buying pizza for each other out of the goodness of their hearts. And I think, have you ever, Facebook had that thing where you could buy the gifts on it, for birthdays and stuff?
Yes.
And I actually did it several times. But you know what? I don't know if the people ever got it because nobody ever got back to me and said thank you. So I think I spent the money and then never got the gifts.
Oh, there's got to be a way you can track that.
I couldn't find it. And I think they've given up on that now because that's kind of disappeared.
Oh, really? No, I think you still can do it.
You still can do it?
Yeah, I never have. But
I found it totally unsatisfying on my end. So
okay, that's
doing it.
That's practical advice.
At some point in the next 365 days, you'll have an excuse to throw a party exclusively for yourself. We have a friend that every year on her birthday would throw a party for herself, and she would take 10, 15 people out to dinner. And she would pay. She insisted on paying even though it was her birthday because she found that the biggest treat that she could give herself is going out to dinner with a group of her friends and buying.
Yeah, I could see that. That would make me a lot of fun. I mean, that would make that. Yeah, that's cool.
I think that was, it was so cool. And they were a lot of fun, It was a lot of fun to do. Get this. Like buttons on Facebook will be clicked 4.5 billion times today.
Today?
In one day, 4.5 billion times.
4.5. That's 4.5 billion with a B.
Yes.
Times.
Yep. That's a lot of likes. And the word love has been tweeted hundreds of times since we started reading this list.
That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. It's true. I'm always thinking about, I'm totally a Facebook freak. I'm on it all the time. I mean, part of it is because it's my job. But the other part is I love to see what my friends and family are doing. And I have to say, there's so much. I think this is why we become addicted to it. There's so much good stuff that we are sharing out there.
And the people who share the crap we block, so we don't see that.
But they're getting squashed. Like if somebody posts something nice and then you got a naysayer in there, 100 people will just smash them right down.
It's kind of self-policing that way. Yeah.
It really is. So this is kind of the draw of social media. There's the people that we connect with are actually putting a lot of really positive stuff up there.
Remember when Facebook first started, we were one of the first on board with that too. And we talked about, is there going to be a lot of people, doing the negative? And so far, it depends where you go, I'm sure, on Facebook. But so far, we have not seen it, at least in our shows, where people are, flaming us and trashing us or, that kind of thing. It's mostly what people post is positive. So let's hope it stays that way. I hope it doesn't go to the way of forums. If you know what I mean.
Oh, God, no, those were awful. Well, this is because you can't be anonymous. I mean, you can make up a fake name and everything.
You're right. I think that is a big thing, is that you're not anonymous. And I think where the forums got into trouble is they were.
People are brave behind their keyboards and their false names.
Yep.
People are brave, yeah. But here you have to own it. You post something, you own it.
And I wanted to say in a couple of minutes, we're going to be getting somebody on, talk about Positive, who had the best by far Halloween costume for horses that I've ever seen. Not just this year, but that I've ever seen. I think you have to agree with that.
I agree with. Oh, it's a masterpiece.
We're going to get him on to talk about that and also talk about the fjord horse, but we'll be that in just a minute. This is one I like. No matter where you are and what you're doing and how your day is going, when you get to it, your bed is always waiting for you at home.
Do you love your bed? How do you feel about your bed?
We love our bed.
I know. I love my bed too.
When you get in your bed after a long day, no matter how the day was, that's just nothing better than that. I'm sorry.
Oh, just to lay flat.
Yeah. Pull the covers up. Oh, it's nothing better.
Now, what color sheets do you guys have and blankets? Do you go by color? Like, do you have a color?
You don't worry about it so much, no.
I guess because you're a boy. Boys don't worry about color.
Yeah,
but
Jennifer's that way too.
I have my bedroom is it's rustic because I live in a 250-year-old house, so it's very rustic, and I have these exposed beams, and the floors are wide pine, like 13-inch wide pine floor, so it's all very rustic. And then I have this huge bed that's got these white quilted like bed linens, so it's very French and stuff. And it's like, I'm such a girl at the end of the day. I'm like, I love my bed, especially in contrast to the rustic feel of the house, So it's like an oasis. I think everybody should have an oasis in their bedroom. Not a real one. Some people put real ones in. That's creepy.
And I think it depends, whether it's an oasis or not, depends on who you're going to bed with. So, that's a whole different show.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm going to bed with 2 large cats. And occasionally a 10-year-old who creeps in because she had a bad dream.
All right, a couple more. A few years ago, someone was awesome enough to carry an entire human in their belly for 9 months just so you could exist. Think about that. Speaking of which, 370,000 babies will be born today, and they will learn how to laugh before they learn how to speak.
Oh, there's nothing like a giggling baby. There's nothing like a giggling baby.
I got to say, Jamie's baby is really cute.
He is
That
cute.
is one of the most photogenic babies I've ever seen.
He's crazy cute. I know. I want to
The
bite
host
him.
of Horses in the Morning, her little baby is so cute. And she was one of those before she had the baby that said, I'm not going to be posting my 1,000 baby pictures on Facebook. And there she goes.
Yeah.
Yep. And the last one, I'm going to leave you with this one. Statistically, you're getting happier as you get older. A study published by the American National Academy of Sciences based on a survey of 340,000 people found that enjoyment of life dwindled throughout early adulthood, but began an upward trend in the late 40s and continued to increase until reaching its peak at 85.
Nice. And now we're living longer, so we might actually be able to enjoy being happy at 85.
Longer, right, exactly. So
it's true. I don't doubt it for 1 minute. I'm getting happier every weekend. But yeah, it's true. It really is. Because you don't care anymore. You learn. That's the thing is with life comes, you gain wisdom through your experiences, and your experiences mature you, especially the difficult ones, but they also allow you to move past all that stress and all that worrying about what other people
The crap
think.
from the early adulthood when you were going on the downhill spiral.
Exactly.
Right.
Either that or you just get so damn tired of it, you let it all go.
Well, and I think, too, I don't think it's not that we don't care anymore, because I'm 51 now. So I think it's that I don't care anymore. It's just that I care about different things. And there's less that I stress about, even
like taking your vitamins every morning.
Yeah, exactly.
And getting to sleep in your bed at the end of the day.
About whether I should sign up for AARP. So there are some, I just had to throw those things out because it's so depressing reading the news right now and everybody fighting about everything. So I just thought I'd throw that out, try and make people's days put a smile on somebody's face today.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, this cute train is going to put a smile on a lot of people's faces.
Yes, we're going to talk about that right after this word from Kentucky Performance Products. Well, if you're a regular listener to the show, we talk a lot about Kentucky Performance Products, and that's because they are a name you can trust to give you the most value for your supplement money. Kentucky Performance Products offer supplements designed to target specific problems and are made with high-quality ingredients included at effective levels. The company's supplements are intended to complement, not compete, with your dressage horse's current feeding program, guarding against oversupplementation, and each product is backed by sound research and the money-back satisfaction guarantee. And today we'd like to talk to you about Nalox, the original equine antacid. It's recommended by veterinarians and leading horsemen as a way of maintaining a healthy stomach, which reduces the risk of ulcers. Nalox can be given daily to horses exposed to stressful conditions or as needed when shipping, competing, or during stall confinement. You know, you can learn about Nalox and all the products at Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com. That's Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com.
Up next, we have Damon Wynant of Rainbows Inc. How did we find Rainbows Inc.? Well, these guys put together what I call a masterpiece of cuteness. Glenn found a picture of their therapy horses in the best Halloween costume ever in the history of the entire universe.
Yes, totally. And I'm talking about a lot of work. There's a lot of work that went into this one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses, 5 fjords, dressed in, wait for it, train engines, and put together so that they look like a little choo-choo train.
Yeah.
And the best part is that the lead horse actually has a little engineer's cap on his head.
And we got a caboose in the back and a coal car in there. And it's all with these fjords. I mean, and anybody that knows what a fjord looks like, if you don't, just look it up. But fjords are cool anyway. And then
They're just the right
Can
size.
you imagine putting these costumes? I mean, they're full body costumes. They cover their entire bodies, and they look like train cars. Can you imagine trying to put this on some horses?
I can't. My guess is that no, I can't imagine putting this on some horses. It looks like they would go on the way a blanket would. And for those of you who are trying to visualize this in your mind, imagine Thomas the Train. If you have kids, then you know who Thomas the Train is. These are Thomas the Train engine costumes, and they're on.
Matter of fact, they have Thomas on the front.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that
Thomas on the
before.
front.
Yeah, I didn't notice that before.
And it's absolutely brilliant. And the horses it's the engineers' caps get me. They all have the engineers' caps on. So we're going to talk to Damon Wynant of Rainbows Inc., which is the therapy organization that came up with this amazing idea. Rainbows Inc. was developed by Doctors Mary Olson and Jim Miller back in 2008 in the rural farming community of Windham, Minnesota. And since that time, Rainbows has been providing Windham and the surrounding communities there with services for equine therapy, mentoring, therapeutic group opportunities for both at-risk children and senior citizens. So, they're doing really wonderful things. And I think the heart and passion that they have for what they do is definitely well represented in this photo of these fjords. So we welcome Damon.
Damon, we just said that I have you on the show because of a picture that showed up on Facebook and made the rounds. And we just said it's the coolest horsey Halloween costume in the history of Halloween costumes. Talk about a lot of work. I mean, these choo-choo trains and train cars and cabooses and everything that you put on each of these horses. How did you come up with the idea, number one, and how did you make them? They're so professionally done.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. And thanks for having me on today. It started, we were just having a little board meeting, and it started from just a little sketch on the chalkboard. Mary Olson, the president of our board, said, "Hi, how about we do Thomas the Train theme this year?" She drew a little stick horse, started with a little horse blanket, the little 3 wheels on each side, and it kind of just took off from there. It really was a labor of love. Her husband, who's also on the board, Jim Miller, has a love for trains. So he took their little grandson's book, that was our blueprint, and looked at it, and meticulously went through and down to the details, like the wheel weights on the wheels and the colors and the colors of each train, and then it was just kind of took off from there. The boxes we had to fit each horse. The boxes actually came from U-Haul. We had to find the right size boxes and cut those, and it was all just a vision in their head. There were no blueprints. They just went at it, and they just kept growing.
Wow. I mean, so the stand-up parts that are the cab of the engines and the caboose and everything, that's all just cardboard?
It's all just cardboard, painted cardboard. There is a little wood. If you see the pictures on our Facebook page, there's a little bit of wood slat that runs that are over the wheels to keep it straight and so it can flap out to not impede with the horse's movement.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because that was very important. And then there's straps that are kind of glued and velcroed in that run down at a diagonal to the front of it to hold it upright. And then there's a strap that goes around to keep, it was cut up with a circular fitted to each horse to put on their back. So,
so it's like a surcingle holding it on.
Yeah, so you can just slap these things up there and go.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of thought.
Right. And then there's some other helpers that like put on the made the stacks and then the whistle pegboard. There's a little bit of material in all the costumes, a little bit of different types of material in all of them.
Wow.
And when the idea was first presented, was everybody like, "Oh God, no way, this could never be," or was it like immediately like, "Oh yeah, we have to do that"?
Well, up here, that's sometimes the first reaction, but we always have high dreams and visions for things. So we're just like, yeah, let's do it and go from there. So there's like you said, a lot of hard work, and then people kind of coming together at the end. A lot of evenings of the board members, Mary Olson and Jim Miller, up here painting and fitting and putting it together. And it really, they have some grandchildren, and I wasn't familiar with time with the train myself, so I quickly become from looking at the books and everything. But yeah, it was kind of just the gathering of the minds to do that. It was really cool. And then to see all the great comments and positive, wonderful things people are saying about it, and to see the smiles is the main reason we do everything. So to see people like that and enjoy it is really the goal.
Whatever you paid and the time you put in to make these costumes, you got it back 100. You couldn't have afforded to get the kind of publicity you got because of these pictures.
Oh, thanks so much, Glenn. It's been fun too. And I just threw together a little video the other day too. I don't know if you had a.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, you'll have to go. You'll have to go on the Facebook page. It's just a little, there wasn't a lot of video shot that day. We tried to get someone to come shoot it, but it was kind of we couldn't get someone to come. So I shot a quick clip and then tried to do my best to put it together to show some movement in them too. So there's a little kind of trailer on there that went on the other day.
Now,
we can see that.
Where did you go then when you got the train together? Where did you actually go?
Well, every year, this is our 6th annual Halloween celebration. So it's one of the kind of community events we do. We'll maybe talk about a little bit of our programming later, but as a community event, we're close to the Good Samaritan Society here in Windham, fortunate. And so we take a little trail back to visit the senior citizens there. It's only, a little less than a block away or about a block away. So we got a little train going out the arena and over there. And then that's where we go up in front of the Good Samaritan Society, and people come out with their walkers and their wheelchairs and on their own, and then just get a kick out of the horses. And that's where some of the pictures are from, with them, touching them, and some little kids there too to see them. And that actually comes a little later. Then we parade them down to the Sagi home, which is another residence that's on the property there. Same kind of thing. The people come out, and we had a lot of people come out, so it was really enjoyable. And from there, we walk them down to the Remick Ridge retirement home, which is also on site there. Same thing. It's great. And then we came back up here, and we get them ready for a couple hours of trick-or-treating with all the kids to come up and see them. So then we put them in the stalls, and the kids come up, and parents have their cameras out, and we have our cameras out, and they're getting treats. And then we tied in a food drive with it for our Cottonwood County community food shelf here in town. So it's a positive thing. We got 160 pounds of food and some cash donations as well.
Wow.
And this is in Windham, Minnesota, right?
Windham, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Windham, Minnesota. So
now tell us tell us first about Rainbows Incorporated, and then I want to talk to you more about the fjords and why you chose fjords for this particular program.
Okay. Well, our mission, is basically we use equine assisted activities to help individuals achieve healthy behaviors and reclaim the joy in their lives. So, horses, you can have that special bond with horses. You have to lead them, and they trust you. You trust them. We have, we use the fjords. We have 5 of them. We also have a painted that we use in the programs. In the Halloween this year, we only use the fjords. They're very well temperamented, just by nature, and that's one reason we use them. They're all easy to they ride. side, they go in the programs. You can teach them a few little tricks to use during the seminars. We also have a couple, that pull wagons. So that's the Fjords are a really good horse. I've really come to like working with them.
What do you see happening? And you've got a lot of things that are going on with the horses. I'm looking at some of these photographs with children leading them around and doing some basic horsemanship stuff. And the disposition, the expression on the horses' faces is stunning even to me. They are so relaxed and they look so engaged in the calmest way a horse could be engaged in something. How tell us exactly about some of the details of the therapy.
I'm glad you said that, because that's kind of my feeling too. I enjoy photography, so I've been taking those pictures, and that's one of the first things I noticed as well. Like, not only the smiles on the people's faces, but how much the horses are enjoying it too. And like kids trick or treating with the costumes too. I mean, they put them on, and this is the sixth year they've done it, and they've really, really enjoyed it. With our programs and our therapy, it's kind of along the same. We have self-esteem and life skill courses. We kind of base everything at, quote unquote, at-risk youth, support groups, things like that. So there's, you learn a little bit about the horses. Then you go and you get to kind of groom them. You get to know them. You slowly build their trust. You groom them, and then a few of the programs you actually get to, get up on the horse and ride with a helmet, of course, and all the proper equipment. And then it comes full circle. It's, you start, and it's just like making a friend, I guess. It's like people have their favorite horses here, when they come up to the kids that I'm kind of basically talking about now. And then, they make friends with the horses, and then you see them making friends with other kids in the program, which is, something that's spectacular. Like, you wouldn't think they start kind of coming out of their shell. So then you see maybe the other kids in the programs, exchanging phone numbers, and they're friends with the kids and they're friends with the horses.
I'm glad that you said coming out of your shell, because sometimes you don't realize how quickly shells go up, even for kids. How quickly we build them. The children have them, and then, of course, as adults, we build pretty darn good ones. One of the things I see, too, on your website is that we've got your horses with some cute decorations, sometimes a hat, sometimes, a Halloween costume. And normally, I think it's a cute thing to do, but I don't think it's always a fair representation of a horse, of an equine. But I really get this feeling in looking at this, we're humanizing them a little bit. And I think that brings an extra element of joy to the people that you're working with. It makes it a little bit silly. It makes it a little less intimidating, because even a horse of a smaller stature like a Fjord can be intimidating. And I guess that would be a challenge in helping somebody to relax and feel comfortable around them. So the colors, like, I just noticed that, and you do a really good job of capturing this in the photographs. The colors are joyful. The people's faces, the horses look relaxed. The people look relaxed. So I think that little element of fun and silliness goes a long way to breaking down those shells.
Yeah, and thank you. I'm glad you touched on that as well, because, I'm being fairly new here, and then, making a video like that, it's kind of the age we're in too. People like to see the fun stuff, but then there is that really serious side of what we're all about up here, and what we do. Some of the programs, those programs I talked about, were some of the ones we work with at-risk youth, and then also the elderly, and then we have some of those big events to bring awareness to what we do, to come around for those big fun community events like Halloween. One new one we're working on right now, which we were fortunate enough to get a grant from the Remick Trust Fund here in town, is to expand next year into doing some physically challenged riding programs. We're going to have, get the proper equipment, the saddles, the types of lifts that you need to get up onto a horse. And, just kind of start out and try to bring some joy back to, people's lives who haven't maybe been on a horse for a while, who used to grow up with horses and be on them. We kind of saw the need for that. We're in Wyndham, Minnesota, and there are some other equine facilities around, up maybe more when you go towards north, and some in South Dakota. But down here, it's a town of 46, and it's good to have here, and then to have the ability for people to come and be able to do that.
Well, there's that many people that live in my neighborhood. I mean, it's like The fjord is perfect for what you're doing. And I think the fjord gets overlooked a lot. We had friends that when we belonged to the Red Rose Driving Club that drove a couple of fjords in a pair. And they are the quietest they're little draft horses. And so they average about 14 hands. And it looks like yours average about 14 hands. But they average 14 hands and they weigh as much as Helena's horse does, they're little draft horses, but their dispositions are always so gentle and they're tough. They're really, really tough horses. They were used in Norway as workhorses, so they had to be tough. And
the Vikings rode them.
What's that?
And I think the Vikings rode them.
Yes,
and used
they
them as well.
They were used in Norway for that. They were the workhorse of Norway, and and they had to be tough because they had full-grown men riding them at 14 hands. So, they were used because, and the other thing is it's perfect in Minnesota because they adapt so well to the cold climates.
That's right. We just got our first snowfall a couple of days ago too, and I think they really enjoyed that. Like they're getting their heavier fur on right now and hair and they're out in the snow, galloping around and having fun.
I don't know why the fjord is overlooked when we're getting ponies for our kids, because it is a perfect pony, whether you're riding or driving or whatever,
Yeah, they've not been super popular here in the U.S., I think. But, because a lot of I don't know, maybe they're showing they're doing those fancy show ponies. These are working ponies.
Yeah.
From my short experience here, I've just become really familiar with them. And like I said, we do have that one paint, which is an all-black horse named Kate. And a lot of kids that come up here for, we also do some field trips up here and things. When they send us thank yous, they usually say, a lot of them say Kate is their favorite. Maybe just because they're accustomed to thinking that it's more, she's different. And they've seen horses like that. And not too many people maybe, in my opinion, are familiar with the fjord. So, hopefully more and more people start becoming familiar with them because they are just a fantastic horse.
Hey, what other breed has a black stripe down their mane?
Right, like a zebra.
That's right.
That's one question. That's one question we ask the kids. Do you think we have to shave the manes like this, or do you think they just grow like that? And that's one of the first questions they always ask us too, is if that's a natural hair color stripe down the middle there. Yes, that sure is.
Sure is. Well, and I wish that I'll tell you what, I wanted to do that to some other horses' manes I had, and we did actually. My one driving horse, we roached it like that, and it's just so much easier to take care of when you're doing driving horses, with the harness and everything. Well, this is really, really cool. Helena, did you have anything else you wanted to?
No, I'm just going to click around those pictures on their website. And
thanks so much. I'm glad you guys. Stuff. Yeah, I really appreciate having the opportunity to come and talk to you about it, and it has been. It is a lot of fun. So
it's rainbowsinc.org. Rainbowsinc.org is the website.
It's REIN. Rainbows. REIN.
Right. Yep.
REIN.
And we'll be working on getting pictures and stuff up on the website. Right now, they're primarily on Facebook, so you can check that page out too. But we'll be getting them up on the website as soon as possible as well.
Well, congratulations, and tell the board that we think that this wins the Best Costume of the Year, certainly, award for horses, for sure.
Well, thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Selena. Thanks for having me on today.
Our pleasure.
No problem. Well, now it is time for Tack and Habit. This Tack and Habit segment is brought to you by Sparkle and Boom.
Sparkle and Boom is a new media marketing company. Our mission is to help small businesses add some sparkle to their marketing in order to get some boom in their bottom line. Our creativity, combined with an extensive background in the equestrian industry, makes us perfectly suited to help your business capture the potential of social media and the ever-changing World Wide Web. Visit us online at www.sparkleandboom.com.
Helena, this week we don't have a product you actually go out to the store and buy. We have something a little different for you, and it's something that I think every horse owner should have, and a lot of horse owners are getting it. It's a whopping $4.99. So for the price of the Starbucks coffee, probably less.
Oh, wait
actually.
a minute. Hold it. $4.99 can't do it. I don't even want to know about it. It's just out of my budget. $4.99.
I know.
Not an option.
Not an option. Well, this is only available right now. It's an app, and it's only available in the iOS App Store. It'll be on Android very shortly. So if you have an iPod or an iPad or an iPhone, you can get this in the App Store. Just go in and search for Horseside, SIDE, Vet Guide, Horseside Vet Guide. And a doctor out of Texas, I believe, put this together, spent a year getting all of this information together to put this together. But what it is a app that is one of the most comprehensive veterinary apps I've seen. It has videos. It has diagnoses. You can actually open up the app and put in some symptoms, and it will pull up what the options are for what it could be.
Oh,
so
I like
you
that.
You can do the symptoms first. You can go through and do it the other way. You can look at specific diseases and see what the symptoms and the remedies are. They have videos. I mean, there's so much and so many different features in this app. It should be about 10 times the cost that it is. They have illustrations. The illustrations are great because they have illustrations of the legs, the body parts, the skeletal system, the hoof, the eye. So it really goes through all of those different things that you'll find, pictures of the things and illustrations of the parts of the body. So if you have a cut or something, you can actually bring one of these illustrations up and see what could be affected by that. It is really, really cool. This is probably the best horse app I've seen, except for ours at Horse Radio Network. But it's probably the best one I've seen. It's certainly the best health one that I've seen. It just is neat. It's just, I can't say enough about it. And you really have to check it out and play with it to get to know the features of it. And then you'll find yourself using it. They have a search function in there to search for different things. So if you have a cut, you can search for cut. It'll tell you what to do immediately. It has emergency sections. So things that are an emergency, like colic and cuts and getting cast and stall, things like that. You can just go immediately to the emergency section and it'll tell you exactly what to do. It is really cool and put together by a vet. So
credibility, instant built-in credibility.
I like this. I think it's worth $4.99. Just go get it. It'll be right there on your phone. Then everybody brings their phone to the barn. So when you need it, you're going to have it then.
Yeah, I just got to find a way to stick my phone to my forehead so it'll stay there. Well, I'm still
losing
waiting
your
for the
phone is a different. Did you ever get your phone replaced from the last time you broke it?
I did. Well, my sister sent me her old iPhone. I hate it.
You had one of the new ones?
No, I had a Droid. Incredible. And that was my first foray into smartphones. And
you broke it.
Then I lost that one in the ocean, and then I got a replacement, and I dropped that in the street and smashed the glass on that one. So I was SOL. So my sister sent me her old iPhone 4, which is not bad, but I'll tell you, the apps, I don't know. We need to have a whole show just on iPhones. But what were we talking about? Oh my God.
The Horseside Vet Guide. I'm going to get you an
yeah.
OtterBox for your phone, by the way.
I need
You need an OtterBox. You'll never
my
break
phone
it.
Needs a tank. OtterBox. My phone needs a tank. So I guess the question I was going to ask was, this app is available for both Droids and iPhones?
Not Droids yet, just iPhones.
iPhones.
Droid will be out shortly. They're working on that now.
Okay,
So it's just iPhones or iPads. They have an iPad version of it. And they're saying that they should be a few months for the Droid until it comes out.
Okay, so $4.99, I think that's totally worth
I was
it.
trying to see which, whether you needed a newer iPhone. I was just looking which version iPhone, but I don't see it. So you'll see that when you go to download. It won't let you download it if it won't work.
Right. Okay, good.
So
So it does a little thinking for you. See, this is already
Yeah,
kind of
Actually, the App Store at iOS is pretty good that way. It'll verify your phone and tell you whether the app's going to work or not, because the apps are set up that way. Ours will do that too, because our app actually doesn't work on the much older. I'd be interested to download our app and see if it works on that version you have. So that's my recommendation. Horseside Vet Guide. It's horsesidevetguide.com, or just search for Horseside Vet Guide in the App Store. Something simple,
rhymes.
something little. Yes. Something simple and something little. Nice guy, super nice guy too. I talked to him, that the vet that started this, and he's a quality guy. I liked him a lot. So
cool.
Check it out.
Good. Check it out. $4.99. Worth it.
Yep, worth every penny. Because you know what, the vet bill, it's going to be a lot higher than that anyway. So. That's it for this week. Don't forget to download our app. Just go to the App Store and search for Horse Radio Network. It's free, so you don't have to buy that one. That one's free.
It's free.
And
I have
it is
it on my
Android
phone.
too.
I have it on my phone.
Oh, good. So it works good. Okay, good.
Yep, it works great.
We haven't had any complaints on it. I'm shocked. But I know we haven't had any complaints. All the new shows are on there, by the way. So your new show, Chasing a Fox, is on there.
We have a great show coming up with Chasing a Fox.
Oh, do you?
Just saying. Yeah,
Tell me about
Nina
it.
Fox. Nina Fox, she's an antique dealer who deals with like these amazing one-of-a-kind pieces. And she's really cool. She's good to listen to, and she's got some, just saying.
And that'll be out the 15th?
Okay.
Or the 10th? I don't remember. I was
Glenn,
asking.
I don't even know what month we're in.
It'll be out
Yes,
soon.
It
Look
will
for
be
it
out.
on your app.
Look for it on your app. Exactly. Get the app.
And, of course, you can listen to all the shows on the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com, and all of our past episodes over at stablescoop.com. We have a lot of them, and I was looking at the numbers. We had we don't normally talk about this on any other show but ours, and I just sent that over to you this morning. The third quarter numbers are in for downloads and number of listeners and everything, and almost every show on the network has grown this quarter, and most of them set records for the number of listeners and downloads.
Yeah,
We've seen.
I was really excited.
We were up 30% over third quarter last year.
That's nuts. 30%? That's huge.
I know, when you
growth.
consider we've been doing this for 5 years and having growth like that over that period of time. But more and more people are figuring it out, what podcasts are and how to find them. And I think that's the
true.
biggest thing.
And
I think
we
that's
have
just the biggest thing.
We have the traction of, we've got traction. We've been around for a little while now. I'm not going to go as far as saying we know what we're doing.
No, or that we're even good, but
Right.
we have traction.
We have
But
traction.
too, when you look up any guest that we've had on any of the shows in the horse radio, especially Stable Scoop because it's been around for the longest, but when you take a look and you Google any guest name, professional rider, or anybody that we've had on the show, we are at the top of the list, on the Google searches because we've been around for so long. So that helps us too, is that we're getting to the tops of the searches on Google now. But thanks to Helena all those years ago.
Oh,
For believing in this little project.
and for not really caring when you said we had 12 listeners.
That did bother you a little bit at the
No,
beginning.
it did not bother me at all because I was so scared and we were so
That's
new
true.
at it. And
And
I'm still scared.
I think it changed a little bit. No, I was going to say it changed. I was going to say it changed a little bit because we were doing the show for ourselves back then and really didn't care what other people thought. We were just doing it. And we still pretty much do it that way. So it's changed a lot, actually.
Yes, it has. Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. You have a terrific week. Be safe. Remember to wear your helmets when you're riding.
And we will be back next week with more. Until then, happy skiing.